Greetings! Today we are going to understand the poem Amanda, written by the poetess Robin Klein. Okay, so in this poem, we learn how upbringing plays an essential role in personality development of a child. And whenever we wish to admire or criticize someone, we talk about the upbringing of that person. So, this poem also highlights the same issue and it highlights the problem of proper upbringing of a child. So, the poem it consists of seven stanzas, and as we can see, the poem implores that it is the responsibility of the parent to provide healthy growing atmosphere to the children without making them feel trapped. And the rhyme scheme that we find in the poem is AABA, and the tone of the poem is withdrawn and amused. Imagery uh, has been used a lot in this poem, and we are going to find the imagery of mermaid, number one, orphan, number two, and the character Rapunzel derived from a fairy tale. So three imagery and we can find as of within this, and all convey a longing for freedom. So the poetic devices, we're going to find a number of poetic devices in this, and some of them are alliteration and metaphor, and we are going to discuss them in detail. And this is a short summary. So the poem is about a small girl named Amanda who is constantly nagged by her mother. So actually, it is not very clear that who is nagging at her, but probably the tone suits that of her mother. So it would be not incorrect to say her mother, but when you write your answer instead of her mother, you can write the parent. Okay, so now Amanda feels trapped. Her imagination is not given enough space, which makes her angry. She even wishes to be an orphan. Her anger makes her moody. So, like you are going to find the poem in wonderful, alternate stanzas wherein some kind of instructions are given to Amanda, and then you'll find a kind of parenthesis or brackets, and so this is like it's a kind of dialogue, and the first thing has been said by the adult or the parent or the mother, we can say. So, and the other one, the alternate stanza, like it is an answer, although she does not speak up, but she thinks in her mind. So, there are a number of admonishments. So, these are the seven stanzas which are there in the poem. So, in the first stanza, it talks about some of the admonishments given by the parent to her, and instructions are given to her to stop biting her nails, to stop hunching her shoulders, to stop slouching and sit up straight. And then she dreams herself to be a happy mermaid in a languid green colored emerald sea all alone. And then again, some kind of reprimands follow her, and the instructions are given to finish her homework, to tidy her room, and to clean her shoes. And then again, she goes to refuge, and she thinks herself to be an orphan, and she like desires freedom and silence there. And this is why she calls silence gold and freedom sweet. So she like it is very much metaphorical, wherein silence is compared to gold and freedom has been compared to be sweet. Again, she gets another set of rebukes: not to eat chocolates, to remember her acne, and for not looking at her. It may be the parent, it may be the father also, it may be any adult in the house. So, for not looking at her when she was speaking to her. So now again she goes to her world of own respite, and she dreams of being a Rapunzel and to live in a tower in solitude and peace. So Rapunzel, if you remember, that it's a story about a princess who had very long hair, and she was imprisoned in a tower by a witch, and whenever the witch used to come, she used to put down her hair, and the witch would climb with those, like with her strands of hairs and hair, and but here she accepts that she would never let her bright hair down, and so she wants complete solitude for her. After that, again, then in the next stanza, the admonishments or the scoldings they continue, and the lines they are said to stop that sulking. Sulking means like to ignore, like to let people know that he or she is angry by not like replying to them. Um, so that is sulking. So the parent advises to not to stop that sulking, and like the complaint that she's always moody. The instruction comes, and again the instruction comes that she says anything would think she nagged at her. So now, if we talk about the poetic devices and rhyme scheme of this poem, so we are going to find a number of poetic devices. You'll find alliteration. So how alliteration is there? So whenever the consonant, the first sound of the words is repeated, that is known as alliteration. So here you can find that stop that slouching and step straight. So this is the um, alliteration we can find over here. The sir sound is being repeated at the start of closely placed words. So these are the placed words, and the sir sound is repeated. Metaphor. So metaphor and similes are when some comparison is done. When the comparison is done with the help of like and as, that will be a simile. But when the words like and as are not used to compare, so that would be a metaphor. So use of the word emerald sea for green color of sea being similar to color of emerald. So metaphor, emerald sea is a metaphor. Now allusion, mermaid is a well-known imaginary creature. After that, we also find Rapunzel, and so these are the allusions which have been used. So apart from Emerald Sea, there are a number of more of like metaphorical things, like the word orphan is also a metaphor. Now, again, we can find that the rhyme scheme AABA is the rhyme scheme. You can see that these are the words that come towards the end, and they create a rhyme scheme. So A, A, B, A, C, C, C. Now, analysis. If we analyze the poem, so the poet shows us how difficult it can be for a young girl to grow up. In childhood, we are happy to listen to fairy tales and imagine ourselves to be in the same situation. However, this cannot last forever. At some point of time or the other, we all have to grow up. One part of growing up is leaving fairy tales behind and learning to accept reality as it is. Hence, we must get used to having our own set of responsibilities, such as doing our homework or keeping our rooms clean. Now, if we think about the central idea, so we can think that how can this kind of conversation can give us any kind of central idea, but still we have a central idea, and the central idea is a child wanting to have his own, possess his or her own freedom. And the thing that he or she never likes is the constant nagging. So, this is the thing that has been highlighted by the poetess Robin McLean, and like it is said that like in a way we can understand that the child does not like the constant nagging, the unwanted instructions, and even overprotection of the parents. So nowadays there's a term which is known as helicopter parenting. So it seems to be the same thing which applies over here. So every child wants to enjoy the dreamy and romantic world of his or her childhood. She doesn't want to cut this fascinating world of hers short. Any kind of instruction or interference curtails her freedom. She doesn't want to be denied chocolate and wants to sit and behave exactly as she wants. She would rather indulge in fantasies than clean her room or her shoes. She wants to postpone growing up. She wants to remain a child for just a little bit longer. So this was a very quick review of the poem Amanda. Thank you.